So, hello everyone. Today we are going to learn the basic settings of AutoCAD that are useful to solve engineering graphics problems. So, we start with how to open the AutoCAD. So, first you have to double click on AutoCAD 2021 English symbol, and after that this window will get open. Here in Start Drawing window we have different templates. Just click on this template drop down, and when you scroll the roller of mouse you will find that there are number of templates available, and we can select the templates as per our requirement. So for engineering graphics course we are going to use this no template metric. So click on that, and this is the working environment that gets open. Now first we try to understand what is in working environment. So at top we have this quick access menu, and below that we have the tabs like home, insert, annotate, parametric, likewise. And under each tab we have different panels. Likewise, currently we can see a panels under home tab. If I click on insert, I can see panels under insert tab. So for engineering graphics, for maximum time we are going to work in a home tab, and under home tab we required these 5 important panels. So how to set these panels, so that we can see now. So here when you come on this draw, you can see this is highlighted. You just right click, and here you have show tabs and show panels option. So I have to set the panels under home tab. So I just went to the panel and I select this draw, modify, annotation, properties and utilities. So these 5 tabs are required. Suppose if extra tab is selected like this, now the layers are selected, but we don't want this layer tab. So you just right click and deselect these layers. So when you uncheck it, it is getting vanished from the screen. You can see it. So we required these 5 tabs, so you just set it. Now below that we have the drawing area, and below drawing area we have this important command line. Now this command line is the important part of the AutoCAD because it guides us about the next step. It is our guide to use the software. For example, currently not a single command is open, so the command line is empty and we get a message like type a command. If I select a line, you can see that here we get the instruction that line specify first point. So it guides us. Suppose I select the first point, then it asks me to specify the next point. Then I select the next point likewise. So it is a guide for us to complete the process. So if command line is not visible, suppose I close the command line. If it is not visible, then you should press Control 9 button and it will come back. So here you get this instruction. When you click on this close button, here you get the guideline to display the command line. So to display command line window again, press Control plus 9. So if command line is not visible, you just press Control plus 9, and generally the command line is set at the bottom. So if such type of extension with the command line is visible, you can see that I just extend it. If such type of extension with the command line is visible, okay, then you can suppress it by just come on this line and you hold the line by left clicking and drag it in a downward direction. So we just want this command line, so we can set it by using control line. Now the next important part of the workspace setting is customization tabs. So when you come to this right hand side of the window, so here you have three parallel lines. So this is the customization menu. Just click on it and these many customization tabs are available. Out of these, the important tabs for us are grid. So this is the symbol of grid. Snap mode. This is the symbol of snap mode. Dynamic input. So this plus and this scale. This is the symbol of dynamic input. Ortho mode. So this is the symbol of ortho mode at bottom. 2D object snap. So this is 2D object snap. And last one is a workspace switching. So this gear symbol is a workspace switching. So now we can see that what is the use of this customization menu. So when I open this grid, so you can see that we get horizontal and vertical lines on a screen. So these are the grids. So we can use this as a reference lines to draw any sketch. If along with grid, if I open this snap mode, then you can find that when I open the line command, so I only click on the corners of these squares. Okay, likewise. So these are the grids. Okay, these points are the grids, and I am not able to click in between these 2 points. If I want to click in between these 2 points, it is not possible to click because the grid command is open now. So I can click only on these end points of each square. So this is the use of grid. Okay. If the grid is open and if this snap mode is open and grid is off, even though you can click on the end of that square only. Okay. If such thing happen, then you can check whether the snap mode is open, and because of that this will happen. Okay. So this is about grid and snap. Generally we keep it off. Whenever required we keep it open, but generally we keep it off. Then next to it is a dynamic input or dynamic mode. Now what is the dynamic mode? Suppose I selected the line command. So here the command line asks me to specify the first point. When I click or when I come on the screen, you can observe the cursor. So not a single value is attached with the cursor. Now I open the dynamic input and now you can check that when I move the cursor without clicking anywhere, so for every position I get two values related with the cursor, that is x coordinate and y coordinate of the cursor. So dynamic input gives the values related with the cursor. So now I open the line command and now I'm going to click over here and I move the cursor. So you can see that cursor is converted into line because I click somewhere on the screen, and the parameters related with the line are length of line and angle of line. So currently I can see length in one box and angle in another box. So if dynamic input is open, I can enter the length and angle of the line. Suppose I want a line of 150 mm. So I want enter 150 in length box. After that I press tab, and suppose I want this 150 mm line at 40 degree angle. Then I can add angle in this other box. Now you can see once I press a tab, this 150 mm length, this 150 is locked. Okay, so length of the line is locked and I can vary only now angle. So whatever the value of angle required, I have to enter it. So, and I want the value of angle as 40. So I enter the value as a 40 and press enter. So this line is created, then I can press escape. So in this way, we can create a line with angle by using this dynamic input. There is second method with which we can create a line with angle without this dynamic input. So for that, I am going to open the line command. It asks me to specify the first point. So I specify the first point and move the cursor. And next instruction that I got over here is specify the next point. So instead of specifying next point, I am going to type at the rate. You have to press shift and 2 key. So you will get at the rate. After at the rate, I have to add the distance. So distance is 150. And then we have to add the angle. And before adding angle, we have to add less than symbol. So less than angle 40. Okay, so at the rate distance less than angle and press enter. So here you get, after that press escape to come out from the line command. So here you get 150 mm line at 40 degree by using the command line instruction, and this line we created by using the dynamic input. So in this way, dynamic input reduce our effort to construct this type of angular lines, and we can add any value related with the cursor. So this is the use of dynamic input. Now next to it is the ortho mode. Now what is the use of ortho mode? So suppose I want to draw exact horizontal and exact vertical lines. So if I try to draw it like this, so then it will take some effort to get exact horizontal line. So that is getting reduced if I open this ortho mode. So you just click on this ortho mode and you will find that even if you move the cursor in angular direction, the line will move either in horizontal direction or in vertical direction. So with the help of this ortho mode, we can draw exact horizontal and exact vertical lines. So this is the use of ortho mode. Then next to it is OSnap or object snap. Now what is the use of object snap? So here, suppose I want to connect this end with this end by using a line command. So I open the line command and I try to select this point, but I am not getting it. So in order to highlight this point, I should open this OSnap. So I open the OSnap and then I click over here. So this is the end point that is selected. I click here and then I connect this end point of this line. So in this way I complete the line and then press escape. Now here this OSnap is very useful function. You can see near to OSnap there is a drop down. When you click on this drop down, you find that there are number of options available as far as object snapping is considered. Currently all options are selected. So we can get end point, midpoint, center of circle, geometric center of any object, node, quadrant, and we can select the required object snaps. Okay. Suppose 3 or 4 points are nearer to each other and we are getting confused that which point is getting selected. So in that case, you just keep only one point open and deselect all the other points. And you will get that only one point highlighted. For each point, we have a different symbol. So that you can check. Suppose I want to connect midpoint of this line with midpoint of this line. Okay, so I can open line command. Now the object snap is open and I travel on the line. Suppose I come over here, so this is the end point. When you travel on the line, so you will get next point as the nearest point. You just wait over there. Likewise, I wait here and I get this name of this point as the end point. Now I move on the line. I am interested in the midpoint. So this is the symbol of nearest. So I travel on line and I just wait for the midpoint symbol. So now symbol is changed and this is the symbol of midpoint. So I can click over here and I want a midpoint of this line. So I just travel over here and here I get a midpoint. So I connect it. So this is the perpendicular. I want a midpoint. I can check whether I get any midpoint. Okay, so this is the midpoint. And this is the perpendicular point. So I want a midpoint. So I just check whether is a where is a midpoint. So this is the midpoint. And here I am going to click. So in this way, we can check the symbol and accordingly we can select that particular point. Okay. So this is the use of this object snap or OSnap. Now next to it is a workspace switching. Now this workspace switching is not actually useful in any drawing operation, but many times what happens that currently this drafting and annotation workspace is set properly. So many times that happens that you are not able to see the upper tabs and panels, and you only get this window because the workspace is not properly set. Now in that case, what you can do, you just click on this workspace switching drop down. You enter into the either in 3D basics or 3D modeling. So for that, suppose I enter into 3D basics. So currently I am in drafting and annotation. So I just click on this 3D basics. There you can see that upper tabs and panels are changed. After that, again switch back to the drafting and annotation, and your entire workspace will get reset. Likewise, whatever the panels I set previously, so all these panels vanishes and I get new placement of the panels. So this is the refreshment of workspace. So if workspace is not properly visible, you just switch between any two workspaces. Likewise, I enter into 3D modeling and then I again come back to drafting and annotation. Okay. Then you can set the tabs as per your requirement. Okay. So in this way, we can switch between any workspace as per our requirement, and we can use that workspace whenever required. Okay. So during exam, if the workspace is not properly visible, then don't get panic. You just switch between the workspaces by using this workspace switching option. Okay. So this is the process by which we can set our working window. I just revise the things that we did. So first we set the tabs under uh, panels under home tab. So 5 panels are required: draw, modify, annotation, properties and utilities. Then we discuss how to get this command line. If it is not visible, you just press Ctrl 9 and command line will get open. And as I told you, the command line is the most important part of the sketch because it guides you regarding the process that you have to follow while completing any command. Then we discuss about the customization menu, and we have 5 important customization menu: grid, snap mode, dynamic input, ortho mode, 2D object snap, and workspace switching. Okay. Now we are going to set the limits, because whatever the sketches that we are going to complete in during uh, your exam or during practical hours, that we have to take the printout of the same. So for that purpose, you have to work within a limits. and that limit should be the dimension of A4 size paper, so that we can take the printout on A4 size paper. So how to add the limits? So for that we have to use the command limits. So you just type LIMITS in command line and press enter. So it asks you to specify the lower left corner. So lower left corner of the limit is 0, 0. Then press enter. Then next specify upper right corner. Upper right corner is 297, 210. Press enter. Now limits are set. To visualize the limit, we should add a rectangle of the same size. So you can add the command rectang. So this is the command for rectangle, rectang, and press enter. Now specify first corner point. So here you can read specify first corner point. So first corner point is 0, 0. It is same to that of the limits. Enter. Specify other corner point. So other corner point is 297, 210. Enter. Now while setting this limit and rectangle, make sure that none of the customization menu is open. None of the customization tab is open. Okay. How you will identify the tab is open? Suppose I open this dynamic input. When I click it, it is highlighted. It means the tab is open. So while entering limits and rectangle, make sure that none of the customization tabs is open. Okay. Now the rectangle is set, but we require the rectangle at center of the screen. So you just type zoom ZOOM, enter, and click on this all. So you can see that this rectangle will set at the center of the screen. So in this way, we can add the limit and we can make the limit visible by using the rectangle. Now we are going to see something related with the dimensioning. So suppose I add a line like this. So this is horizontal line, vertical line, and then I draw this angular line. Okay, and now I'm going to add the dimensions for these lines. So here you can add the dimensions through this annotation. So in annotation, we have this option at top, linear. So when you click on this drop down, you will find that these many options are available for dimensioning. So I want to add the dimension between the two linear points. So I can select this linear. So this is exact horizontal line. So this is the dimension visible. Then this is also exact vertical line. So again, I use this linear option and I plot this dimension. Now this line is inclined line. So for inclined line, this linear option is not useful. So we can use this aligned option. So here this is the first point and this is second point and this is the dimension, aligned dimension. Now to add the angle, we can use this angular option. Okay. And to add the angle, first select this line and this line and you just move the cursor and place the dimension wherever required. So in this way we can add the dimensions by using this annotation tab. Now here you see that there are some modifications required as far as dimensioning is considered. Because if you see that this line, I am interested in the dimensioning this line, but the extension line from these 2 points is a dark one. Okay, so this line and this line, these are called as the extension line, and the line on which dimension is written, it is called as a dimensioning line. Okay. So I want this extension lines faint. Yeah, so I want the number that is written on the line should be large, and also these arrows size should be large. So for that, I'm going to change the dim style. Okay, so I can type dim style, DIMSTYLE in a command line, press enter, then click on modify, and here you can find that, so when you type dim style, okay, so this dimension style manager will get open, okay, and this is the dimension, current dimension style, and I want to modify it, so I just click on modify. Okay. So in modify we have different tabs, okay, like lines, symbols, arrows, text, fit. Okay, so we can see what we have to modify one by one. So in lines tab, I want to modify this extension line color. Okay. So you can see this rectangle or square, it is a dimension line square. We don't want to modify anything over here. But in extension lines, we have to modify the color. This extension line should be faint. So you just click on over here, and here in select color, you can select color code number 9, index color 9, and click OK. You can see that in color of extension line is color 9, and here this extension line becomes faint. Okay. So this is the only thing that we have to change in a dimensioning as far as extension lines are considered. Then in symbols and arrows, all other things are okay. Only symbol size or arrow size should be more, should be large. So I can increase it up to 3.5. So this is the only thing that we have to change in symbols and arrows. Then in text, we have to increase the text height up to 3.5. Then in fit, don't change anything in fit. In primary units, okay, so decimal is okay. We want decimal units. If other units are selected, then you again go for the decimal. Suppose I select the scientific, then scientific units will be like this. Okay, so we don't want this. We want decimal. And for precision, likewise, you can see current value is 14.11. Okay, so as far as first 2 to 3 chapters of engineering graphics are considered, the precision 0 is okay. Okay, so you can select the precision as 0. Hmm. So this is the only change in primary units. Alternate units, no need to change anything. Tolerances, don't change anything. So I repeat what we have changed. In lines, we change the extension line color. We select the color code 9, and we selected it from here. Select color and index color 9. Okay. Symbols and arrows, we increase arrow size up to 3.5. Text height up to 3.5. Fit, don't change anything. Primary units, change precision from 0.00 to 0. Alternate units, no need to change anything. Tolerances, don't change anything. And click OK and close it. Okay, now you can see the dimensioning is modified. So the extension lines are faint, dimension lines dark, okay, text size increases. Okay. Now we can see how to add the text. Now to add the text, we have to use dt command. Okay, it is dtext command. Okay, so when you type dt at the top, you will get this. Okay, so dtext. Okay. So you just type dtext in the command line, dtext, dtext, and press enter. So it asks you to specify the start point of the text. You can click anywhere on the screen. I just click over here. So this is the start point of the text. You have to specify the height. You can see it over here, specify height. So I specify the height as 3.5, press enter. And specify rotation angle. Rotation angle is 0. Rotation angle means in this, if you enter 90-degree angle, then your text will tilt to 90 degree. So we don't want any rotation. So enter rotation angle as 0 and press enter. Now you can see that text box is open at the place where you clicked. Now I want to add text over here. So now I click over here. Likewise. So text box will open over here. So I add here name A, here B, here C. Likewise, whatever the text that you have to add, you just add, click somewhere on screen and you can add the text. After completion of adding all text, you just click outside, okay, outside somewhere on the screen. Likewise, I click over here and then press escape. So you will come out from the DT command. Okay. So in this way we can add the text. Okay. So for DT command we have to use the text size as 3.5, angle of rotation as 0, okay, and we have to click somewhere to open the text box. Okay. So these are the basic things or basic settings that we should do while using the AutoCAD.